Have you ever met a teacher who changed your life? Today, I want to tell you about a man who didn't just teach his students. He fought for them with every fiber of his being. This is the story of Ramesh Sir, the teacher who bought books with his tears. Ramesh Sir taught at a small government school in a poor, remote village. His students were bright and eager, but they came from families who struggled just to get by. Most couldn't afford basic supplies like notebooks or even a proper school bag. He saw their potential, but he also saw their hardship every single day. One particularly rainy afternoon, something happened that shattered his heart. He looked out the window and saw one of his students, a young boy, huddled under a small shelter. He wasn't playing. He was diligently doing his homework, writing carefully on the rough, coarse surface of an empty cement bag. That was the only paper he had. In that moment, seeing that child's determination against such odds, something inside Ramesh Sir broke. He knew he couldn't just stand by and watch. That very evening, he walked to the only stationery shop in the village. He pulled out his own modest savings, money he had set aside for his own needs, and started buying notebooks, pencils, erasers, and school bags. He wanted to get enough for every single child in his class to wipe away the inequality he saw every day. But as he filled a basket, he realized the painful truth. His salary wasn't nearly enough. Overwhelmed, he stood in the middle of the small shop, tears streaming down his face. He had failed before he even began. The shopkeeper, a kind elderly man, noticed his distress. He walked over and gently asked what was wrong. Ramesh explained everything, his voice choked with emotion. The shopkeeper looked at him, then at the supplies, and said something that changed everything. "Sir, take what you need for the children. Pay me back whenever you can. Their education is more important." With a heart full of gratitude, Ramesh Sir gathered a huge sack full of stationery, a weight on his shoulders that felt lighter than air. The next morning, he walked into his classroom with a huge smile. He laid out the brand new notebooks, the sharp pencils, and the colorful bags on his desk. The children's eyes went wide. A moment of stunned silence was followed by the most beautiful sound he had ever heard, a wave of pure, unadulterated joy. The classroom erupted in cheers. For the very first time, every child had the same tools. They felt equal. They felt seen. But the story doesn't end there. A promise is a promise. To repay the kind shopkeeper, Ramesh Sir started working extra jobs. After a long day of teaching, he would travel to nearby towns to tutor other students late into the night. He started eating less, saving every penny he could to buy more supplies for his class and pay off his debt. His sacrifice didn't go unnoticed. Word of his dedication began to spread through the village like wildfire. People were moved by his selflessness. Villagers started donating whatever they could, a few rupees, a bundle of notebooks, anything. Former students who had moved away heard the stories and sent money back home to support their beloved teacher. The small school began to transform. With proper supplies and a teacher who believed in them unconditionally, attendance skyrocketed. The children were more engaged, more confident, and their grades, they improved dramatically. One day, a car pulled up to the school. It was the district education officer. He had heard about the incredible transformation happening in this tiny village school and came to see it for himself. He was so impressed by what Ramesh had achieved that he awarded him the Gold Teacher Medal, the highest honor for an educator in the region, standing in front of his cheering students with the heavy gold medal in his hand. Ramesh sir felt the familiar sting of tears in his eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. He held up the medal for all to see and said, "This doesn't belong to me. It belongs to all of you." He knew that his greatest achievement wasn't a piece of metal, but the bright, hopeful faces looking up at him. Ramesh sir's story teaches us a profound lesson. Children don't need fancy buildings or expensive technology to succeed. What they truly need is something far more precious, a teacher who sees them, who believes in them, and who will never ever give up on them. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please share it to spread the inspiration. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that matter. See you next time.